Tami McVay. Welcome, Tami.
Hello.
So excited to have you here today, and you have something really, really exciting
I
to
do.
talk about. Tami, tell us what you have that's coming out.
So I am launching one of the few Kids Who Lead book series about 5 young girls who learn leadership traits, and is based on the 15 Marine Corps leadership traits. So I'm really excited about this give back to young girls everywhere.
Oh, I love that so much, Tami, and it shows your heart and your heart for helping. And we are in the same group mentorship with Danelle Delgado, and that's how we met. And I've watched the journey kind of unfolding with the books, which has been really exciting to watch. Tell us a little bit about the backstory, if you would, Tami, about how the books came to be.
Well, so over the years, I've had different women ask me about coaching their daughters just because of the way that I live and the way that I operate and the example that I'm always showing on social media. And I always felt odd doing that because I'm not a parent. And so when I started thinking about this book, working on children's books, it started with the passion of AI. Like, I was really curious to watch what people were doing. But then when it hit me how I could tie this into my own movement of one of the few and be that example for little girls, because I do know leadership. And I looked at all the different ways that I was incorporating these traits in my own life. And I thought, okay, how can I take that and apply it to the school or the playground? And so that way little girls could start to understand what it really means to, stand your ground, have that self-respect, and then also, find your voice.
Oh, I love that. And as the WOW warrior, woman of worth warrior, that is literally right up our our alley, Tami. So everybody's probably going, that's why. But I love that. And what better thing to do than to teach young girls leadership, not just how to be a leader, but how to lead themselves, right? Because it begins with self, which is, I love how you shared that leadership is something that you developed within yourself. Those are things that you did in your life. So tell us a little bit. This is the fun thing is that this is not just one book. This is an entire series. So tell us a little bit about how the book, well, I know how it came to be, but how the book started and how it's multiplied and how it's laid out, Tami.
Well, when I started thinking about, writing this book, I wanted it based on leadership, and the Marine Corps has 15 leadership traits. And so I thought, do I really want to write 15 books? Like, that's quite the endeavor. And so then I thought, okay, I'll have 5 girls. I have the book here. So it's 5 girls, and each girl represents 3 different leadership traits. And so that's why I'm committing to those 15 books. And they learn along the way. They support each other. And so it helps build and teach friendship. And so I just knew that this was the route that I had to go. And once I came up with this idea, like so many times we get these great ideas and we kind of shelve it. And so I kind of hesitated. I didn't tell anybody I was doing it. I was building it behind the scenes. And then I wanted to wait and get my first book to realize, like, okay, I really love this. Now I can tell people, and I'm going to run with it.
Oh, how exciting. And apparently, Tami, you do nothing small. So 15 books, 15, let's go. How exciting is that? And how wonderful that you have chosen to really show young ladies they can be leaders and that they can empower others. Community is a big thing in the WOW Warrior community as well. So that speaks to my WOW Warrior heart. So I want to just have you share a little bit, like I know that all the 5 girls, they have their 3 leadership traits. Share what the first young lady is, who she is, and what her leadership traits are, and what you're going to be talking about in these books.
Yeah. So this is Justice Jade. Her leadership traits are justice, integrity, and bearing. And so that's what the first 3 books are. And so book number 1 is Jade and the Unfair Pick. And she learns all about, finding her voice and, not caving into peer pressure. And so that way other girls could see like, okay, sometimes you just have to like stop the madness and stand up for really what you believe in to make sure that, things aren't just fair, but they're also for those who really earn and really work hard, that you can be rewarded for that. And so that's what the first book is about.
Oh, I love that. I can't wait to get that for my granddaughters. So speaking of that, who would you say is the perfect person for this book? We're obviously right before the biggest gift giving season of the year. So tell us a little bit about who this book is for, what age group, and why it would be a great gift to give.
Well, so I wrote it for girls age 6 to 9 because one, I wanted to be able to play with the fun graphics. Everybody loves that cartoon character that they can connect with and memories over the years. But I also needed it to be old enough where they could start to grasp the concept of leadership. And so this weekend I had shown my books to a teacher, and I really wanted to make sure I did things differently. And so at the end of every book, there's a leadership lesson. It teaches them how it showed up in the book, so then they, can really connect the dots. And then also how to help them think like a leader. And so I wanted it to be more than just, a fun little story.
I love that. There's so many layers to it. That is incredible, Tami. And there are 4 other girls. And what are the names of the 4 other girls?
So we have Courage Camille. She's the scrappy one. And then we have Mighty Mari. She's the fixer, the doer, like get things done. And then Empathy Emmy. She's the sweet one, always listening, feeling people's feelings. And then Bright Bella. She's the youngest one. She's enthusiastic, coming up with great ideas. And so, I can't wait to bring each of these girls to life in these books.
Oh, I love that. Would you say that all of these young ladies are all a piece of you somewhere in there?
Oh, I'm sure. Over the years, we've had, different experiences where you had to tap into different parts of yourself. And I think when you're young, you just do what you do without giving it much thought. But as you get older, you start to reflect and you see all those, different lessons and how things showed up. And for me, one of my Marine Corps brothers, he texted me one day and he just said, I have to commend you. He said, you are absolutely living all the leadership traits. And it was then that I really put the 2 and 2 together because, you just kind of take for granted just how you operate.
I love that. That's so powerful and interesting and really fulfilling when someone else actually recognizes that in you. That's amazing. And they tell you. I'm a big fan of telling people, when you see the good in them and expressing that. So that's so awesome, Tami. So tell everybody where they can get the book, first of all.
Yeah, so the book is the series is live on Amazon, and so you can go out there, and then I'll be releasing each of the books over the next year, and you can come to TamiMcVay.com to find out more about me as well.
Nice. So I also want to take a second I just want to have you share. We've heard you say one of the few quite a bit. Can you just share what oneofthefew.com, that's your website, what does one of the few mean to you, and where did that come from? Because that is your movement. So just tell us just real quick what that is.
About 5 years ago, I was in a mastermind retreat, and there was an audience of about 60 people, and my mentor and their guests, they had me up on stage, and they just started grilling me about what it is that I want, what I stand for, what I was passionate about. And somebody in the back of the audience yells, "You're one of the few." And also they just kind of hit me. I'm like, oh, that's pretty brilliant. Because it is a play on the few, the proud, the Marines. And then as a woman Marine, we are actually 0.0003% of the US population. And so I've met Army colonels that spent 20 years who had never met a female Marine. And so we really are a rare breed. So that's where it stemmed from. But then I started to reflect on all the ways it had shown up in my life. And like, I was one of the few women early in tech when the internet came out. I was one of the few that was interested in crypto when that came out, and AI. And so it's just been this theme, this common thread in my life. But more importantly, is when I use the phrase one of the few, and if I were describing you, then people automatically make assumptions like it's pretty rare. It took a lot of hard work to get there. Whatever you did was really pretty cool and unique, and it makes you intriguing. And so it's just the opportunity for people to see like, well, what makes me one of the few? What do I want to be one of the few of? And help them drive and go get it.
Oh, that's exceptional, Tami. And just my heart is just big today. So it's so exciting to be part of, championing your movement, one of the few, and you definitely are one of the few people that I respect and admire in this world, and also for being what we call a wow warrior, a woman of worth warrior. So I'm so delighted to have had time with you today. I do want to encourage everybody to visit oneofthe few.com/kids who lead, and make sure you get yourself a set of the books, and really think about this being a great gift for that 6 to 9 year old in your life. And you know what? If you don't have kids, go buy some and donate them to a daycare or a library. That's a wonderful thing that you could do to help today's young ladies learn to be tomorrow's leaders. So thank you so much, Tami, for being here. Is there something that you would like to leave our audience with, a thought?
Well, the thing that came to mind is really about just having an example. I know that for me, I never considered the Marine Corps until I saw a young girl doing that and loving it. And I thought, ooh, I can do that. And then I found out that a girl from high school after me joined because she saw me doing that. And so if this book can inspire just one girl to really stand up and become a leader because she can see it's possible and it's okay to feel all those things and still do it anyways, that's really what it's all about. And I even have a woman friend who her son is going in the Marine Corps, and she's trying to learn as much as she can. And so she's going to buy the books for herself. So it's not just for girls age 6 to 9. So it can help you look at leadership maybe a little bit differently.
Oh, I love that. And I always like to say, stand up and stand out is the unrepeatable miracle that you are. And that's exactly what you are doing. Tami McVay, thank you so much for being my guest today. I appreciate you. I love what you're doing. And I know that we'll have more interviews to come as these other young ladies come and share out in the book and share their lessons as well. Congratulations on the launch of the books and Jade and her amazing stories that she has to tell. Thank you so much for being you, Tami.
Great. Thank you so much for having me, Sherry.